Good morning, fellow punters. There's no clock on the wall, but on the laptop it says 25 to 9, and on my on my phone it says 25 to 8. So I think the 25 to 8 one is correct. I got a hop when I noticed the difference. I actually had to ring up reception to find out. It's a dark, dreary morning in Belfast. I'm in the Grand Central Hotel in the middle of town. Picked up the people yesterday at the afternoon, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. As people know from me, I always share news about where I am and about my life and all of that. And I got sad news yesterday. A very good friend of mine that I know a long time passed away suddenly in San Francisco. Massive heart attack. He was over there on a skiing trip with himself and his wife and a friend and his wife. And he was always fit. He used to cycle 50 to 60 and 70 kilometres regular. Always got himself checked out. Went for a meal and came out onto the footpath or pavement and suffered a massive heart attack. So I got that news yesterday when I was in the car park in Stormont. So I needed a walk after that, so I walked around, went over to Stormont, walked around, and my head wasn't right for hours. So I didn't get onto YouTube at all yesterday. I didn't answer back any of the comments, but I will this morning when we're going to Giant's Causeway. We're heading the road about 9. And I'll read through them. So my head was in a spin all day. We were long-time friends. We played county under 16 football together and county minor football together. And we were one of the only Roscommon teams to win the Ted Webb Cup, which is the Connacht Championship for under 16s, and the Father Manning Cup, which includes Longford and Cavan and the Western counties. A good while ago. So we had a reunion a couple of years ago. I think of the panels that time used to be only 21, 22, and I think 19 showed up with a great night. I had a small presentation. I actually organised it and I set up a WhatsApp group, and that's how we got to know the news yesterday. One of the lads from the same club sent a message in the WhatsApp group. So I was talking to a few of them last night and indeed yesterday. So terrible news altogether. He was a great man. He was very great with charities as well. One of the lads even said he rang him last week to buy a ticket. He says, I won't buy a ticket, I'll buy a book. And he bought 2 books. He was a very generous guy. So may he rest in peace. So I don't know when the funeral will be, so I'll have to get to that. But I'll be in the Midlands later in the week or in the West. So I'll be able to get back at night for that anyway. So the racing was sort of second fiddle yesterday. The only race I saw live was Jade DeGruge's race, and I went from there to the airport. She won well. Just shows you if the emphasis was on stamina in Cheltenham. Her brighter days ahead probably may have won it. We were on brighter days ahead. I looked at Mumble's last night, the recording of the race. Was doing all right, lost momentum once it crashed into him 2 from home. Probably wouldn't have beaten the winner anyway. But when you lose momentum like that, a big long striding horse, you're goosed. And I like the nightlife. Tactical move, rather brilliant race altogether. I thought if I jumped a little bit better a couple of times, that I'd seen that race actually in the hotel, and I was showing the people that I'm with. They'd never seen a chase race before. I was showing them on my phone. I had problems with the phone yesterday. I think that somebody was right saying about get off Wi-Fi because that was an unsecured place. But I still can't get onto Ladbrokes or William Hill. It says that when you're out of the country, you can only, with those, you can only use your or do bets from the country that you are signed up in. So I got on this. A fella put on a bet for me on Jade DeGruge. and I didn't. I walked around, but I didn't bother going to bookie shops. There was something that I met in the lobby yesterday said there was one 5 mile away, but I didn't bother looking. Anyway, today is Easter Monday, and it's Grand National Day. That's why I come on, because the Grand National, we'll go to that last, but there was a horse that I tipped up the last day, and I think it's well handicapped. It's running in the 205 as Redstone. It's rated 125, but it did beat Kingsfield, who's rated 140. And then it was behind Western Whispers on softish ground in Fairyhouse. And the trip might have been too far, I don't know. But the last day, it was going very well in Down Royal, when it was the day there was carnage in the race. And horses are like human beings, they can get a bit nosy. And I think that's what happened to the horse, because to the left of it, 3 or 4 horses fell, and I think it looked out and it didn't jump properly.
Romeo is next. Nathan Wells right towards the back now with Dinoland as they take the flight out of clear view here, and it's San Martino who leads them along, still clear by half a dozen lengths or so to Striking Descent second. Paddy's Milestone third. Well. Sport in the Park is now 4 with Billy Lee Swagger, Redstone, Mousy Brown, Rowdy Romeo, and they're in front of Nathan Wells and Dinoland racing now on the uphill run that's going to take them towards the bend for 3 to jump. And it's in this the full circle series of Punchestown Festival 2024 qualifier, and it's San Martino preceded by the riderless horse. In second is Striking, Paddy's Milestone 3, and then Billy Lee Swagger the outside of Sport in the Park. They're chased by Mousy Brown, and then comes Rowdy Romeo. Redstone continues to just edge forward in front of Nathan Wells and Dinoland, but San Martino's not for stopping on the front end as they come now towards the third last flight. Striking is second, trying to give chase to the leader. They're chased by Sport in the Park, Paddy's Milestone, Rowdy Romeo. Redstone's behind them, and the rider's horses come right across them, taking out San Martino, all but taking out Striking. We've lost Redstone and we've lost Nathan Wells. Yes, Redstone gone, San Martino gone, Nathan Wells gone, and Striking take.
I'm just hoping that the excuse for that was that he took his eye off the ball with the carnage that was going ahead of him to the left, and that he just, because he had jumped grand and he was travelling grand up to that point. So I'm going to give that a win bet. And there's a race at Kempton on the Goo. It's a 6 furlong race. I had this show written down. It's Al Barez. Bit of money for it overnight. Rated what? 85. 1 off 84, and it won twice in novice races. But it was going well. It ran in Kempton the 18th of February on its first run since last May. And we'll see it. It's hidden behind those 2 on the left as we pick it up.
As Count Otto tries to stretch the field. Count Otto is in front, leaper board, and on the far side, Al Barez. Down the middle of the track, Al Farabi's taking a bit of time to wind up, but coming now. Al Farabi hitting top gear and moving now quite strongly to the leaders. Justice Spark staying on as well, and so too is Metaverse down the outside. Up front, Al Farabi being joined by Justice Spark. Justice Spark, Al Farabi, very tight between.
So he's told that hoping that the run will bring it on. The second run is third run back after the layoff. Back where it ran well on the surface before. The trainer just isn't actually pulling up 3 stumps. But I think that it was one I had written down back next time. And that will bring us to the Irish Grand National. I put up Nick Rockett a couple of weeks ago when the weights came out. But at that time, I thought that horse would be carrying something like 10 stone 12. If it was last year, Royal Pagaille was in it. Actually, the going here today, it suit Royal Pagaille better than it did last year. But a novice carrying 11 stone 10. It's going to be a big ask, but we have it back to 8-1, so it's well worth the risk. There's all kinds of horses that can run well in it. Gavin Crumwell has a couple of that intense raffle that has came from France to local trainer Tom Gibney and trained especially for the race. I looked at a couple of his runs in France last night, and he didn't get home sort of over 2-6. Oh no, it's 3-2 under 2-6, yeah, 2-6 and Mitre. But it ran well both times in Ireland, and where it all began, it ran fourth in the Kimmuir, and where it all began actually has a £10 swing for that defeat. He gave £5 that day, and he's getting 5 today. So by him running so well at the Kimmuir, but it was a good bit behind. I know the way you're thinking. So that'll bring that into the equation. Carrying Tinstone 13, Jack Kennedy taking the ride. It looks like it's the first string of Gordon Elliott's. But a horse that I'd be interested in of Gordon Elliott's with our go-to jockey Danny Gilligan, Favori De Champdou. It's a 20-1 shot. 9-year-old. That's the only thing about it. It's a bit older than normally 7 or 8-year-old. But on the run that it had in Punchestown there when it beat Sandor Clegane, it was second to Affordale Fury in Galway. Didn't run the best the last time, couple of times, but were they just out for the run or what? I'm not sure. Jack Kennedy does deserve it, but Danny Gilligan has won several big races for us. I thought it was worth the each way. I always do a win bet or 2 horses in the Grand National. And that's about it. I think today I'll get this into the oven, get down for my breakfast. I have to go. There's no hotel parking here, so I have to park. It's about 10-minute walk to get the car out for the day. So maybe I'll come back tonight. Maybe I'll see how I'm going, and bash the bookies over and out.